Good morning, Year 6. I want to take a moment to acknowledge that we are learning today on Ngunnawal land and pay respects to our elders past, present and future. I also want to take some time to acknowledge that the subject we'll be learning today does have some missing pieces of history from the Aboriginal heritage and their contribution. I want us to consider the stories that are missing today in today's lesson as we go through. Now, our big inquiry question today is, how do public monuments and art in Canberra help tell the story of who we are as Australians? Each of the objects that have unfortunately been flattened due to the principal sitting on them represents part of a story that is told through monuments right here in Canberra. But you will need to figure out what each of them means. Okay. So, my expectation, class, is that you're going to move through the 14 artifacts here, and you're going to take some time and you're going to write down on post-it notes what you think each one of these represents. Okay? Now, let's just take a moment to remember our classroom expectations. No biting, no chasing the cat, and everyone is expected to participate. Okay, class, if you'd like to take a moment now and have a look through the artifacts, taking notes as you go through. That's right. Consider what this could represent as a monument in Canberra. Maybe you've seen it before, maybe you're already familiar with it, or maybe it just reminds you of something. Remember, we're doing this with our historian hats today. Okay, very good. That was no chasing of the cat. Alright, after everyone's participated and written something down on at least half of all of the artifacts, I'll get you to return to your seats and we will go on with the next part. What did you notice or think these might represent? Was there a common theme throughout them all? That's right, Anara. They were all related to war. As we can see, there's a strong theme of war throughout all of these. Deadpool, where do you think in Canberra this represents? That's right, Taravangian. It is the War Memorial. Each one of these is a representation of the monuments that already exist. If we have a look behind each of these, we can see the monument, okay. We've got the Rats of Tobruk here. That's right. Would you like to turn over one, Deadpool? And what story does it tell about our nation? That's right. It does tell us a story about a history of conflict and war. I've chosen this as an example of how we infer meaning and build identity through monuments and landmarks in our local community. Now, as we go on to the next part of this piece of work, I want us to carefully consider that public monuments aren't just for decoration. They show us what we value and how we want to be remembered. Okay, now that you've had a go at interpreting these and a look at the monuments, we're going to push the thinking further. Choose one monument or artwork of your own from around Canberra. It could either be one from here, around the National War Memorial, it could be one in Parliamentary Triangle, or it could be one that you connect with from your local area. Okay. You're going to research and design your own symbolic representation that tells its story or that adds a missing story. Okay. So your job is to become the monument designer. What story do you think Australia needs to tell next? Wonderful work, class. I'm really impressed with how you all participated and what you brought and your thoughtful responses to the gallery walk. Okay. Before we finish, I want a quick reflection. What values do we celebrate well in Australia, and whose stories might still need to be heard? Next lesson, I want us to share our designs and think about how monuments shape national identity. Alright, recess time. Go on, out. You can go. Out. Have fun at recess.